Hey everybody, DWalls216. Just making this video to update you on my Season 2 Witch Doctor. Some pretty significant changes as far as gear and some skills since the last video I uploaded. So I'm going to go ahead and show you those changes, as well as I'm going to do a T1 Rift run. Also talk about speed and efficiency and its importance in Diablo 3. So let's go ahead and start up Torment 1. And I will go over changes to gear first. So if I'm looking over the side, I just got a second monitor so I can see what I'm recording. So bear with me. Okay, so first off, as far as changes in gear, we'll go over the biggest one. Right here, I just lucky to drop this legendary staff, Wormwood, and what makes this so cool, in addition to the bonuses to intelligence and poison skills, is you see under secondary it says Locust Swarm is cast on a nearby enemy every second, which is awesome because Locust Swarm is another amazing DOT skill that the Witch Doctor has. Biggest problem I had with Locust Swarm is it was so expensive. You see here it costs 300 mana, and when I was using that with Haunt and Piranhas, it just wasn't working out. I was constantly running out of mana, but with Wormwood, I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's just automatically going to cast Locust Swarm. And you might notice I do have Locust Swarm in my skills here, and the reason for that is the runes that you have selected for that skill actually apply to the Locust Swarm that gets automatically cast with Wormwood. So if you don't have that skill selected, it's just going to be regular Locust Swarm, which is the 1040% damage is poison over 8 seconds. But when you have, like I have here, the Rune Pestilence selected, 100% chance to jump to 2 additional enemies. And you can do, you know, any of these different ones. I think Pestilence is the best just because it jumps to so many more enemies. And then you'll notice here for my my mouse skills here, left click and right click. Left click I put on Haunt just because the mana cost is so low I can pretty much just spam that, you know, constantly hold down that button. And then Piranha, I constantly want to keep casting that with its cooldown there. Passive skills haven't changed. But again, Creeping Death affects the Locust Swarm, so again, that was just a really good find. And to go over some of the other gear, I'm just using a rare Voodoo Mask here rather than that legendary Grin Reaper, basically because it's a level 70, so it gives better stat bonuses, and I think the armor changed here. Just sock it out with some more gems. I'm still crafting gems, so and I have a level 70 belt here. So not too different, but the biggest difference here is that Wormwood, which then goes into the Jade Harvester's build I'm trying to get with all the set items there. Again, once you get the set, your Soul Harvest consumes all your DOTs instantly. So the Piranha, the Haunt, and the Locust Swarm just deals a massive bomb of damage. So let me go ahead and grab my Rift Keystones here. So I'm just going to do Nephalem Rift run, and again I'm running Torment 1. So let me start that up. And the Nephalem Rifts are pretty fun. To me they're kind of like the arcade version of Diablo. You're not going around exploring, doing quests, you're just, you know, trying to kill as many guys as quickly as possible. And then the big boss monster appears. And also, like, you're not going through a specific level. It's just randomly generated when you go between the different stages there. So now I'm going to talk about kind of speed and efficiency and its importance in Diablo 3. So Diablo 3 is all about speed. How quickly can you kill things? You know, the quicker you kill things, the quicker you're going to get, you know, especially if you're under level 70, get experience, or if you're over level 70, get your Paragon levels. And so quickness is killing things, and also your movement speed. As you notice here, I have the increased movement speed through my gear, and also with my zombie dogs. And the reason for that is just the faster you're going to move through the level, the faster you're going to get to where you need to go and kill things. And it's all about kind of speed there. And the one thing, one kind of negative with the Witch Doctor is he's kind of slow. You see right now I'm not moving super fast, but kind of, oops, let me kill this guy. It's nice with, I don't know if I can freaking get around to it. Oh, good God. These guys, just one passive skill. Oh, that was annoying. Once I'm out of combat, this Fierce Loyalty, as long as I have a pet summoned, my movement speed is increased by 30%, so it allows me to really go fast across these levels, get where I need to go. So that's kind of the speed aspect. The other is efficiency. You want to be really efficient with the damage you're doing, as well as your resource use for your skills. With the Witch Doctor, his mana. Make sure you have enough of that resource that you can keep kind of spamming your skills. You're never running out of mana at a key point there. And the other aspect of that is kind of like your cooldown of skills. So you'll notice most of my skills have a pretty short cooldown or no cooldown at all. That's kind of why I have Haunt for my left mouse button. I can just keep, you know, spamming it all day long. Oh, goddamn. These molten guys are killing me here. Don't have to worry about running out of mana. Oh, this guy's still not dead. So you want to make sure that skills you have, you always have enough resource for. You don't want to run out, because there's no way to replenish it. There's no item. You can't use health potions. Obviously in Diablo 2 you had mana potions, but they got rid of that. So other ways, I increase my kind of mana efficiency here. You notice here all my damage is increased by 20%, but all my mana costs are increased by 30%. So kind of offset that. This is grave injustice here. I can 1% of my maximum life and mana, and reduce cooldown on all skills when an enemy dies. So the more I kill stuff, the more it increases my life gain, mana gain, and also cooldown reduction. And cooldown reduction is really important. You notice here on Paragon points, I put them all right now in the cooldown reduction. The reason for that is skills like Piranado, especially, a little bit more with, a little less with Horrify, and excuse me, with Soul Harvest. I don't really care about the cooldown so much there, but I want to basically just keep casting Piranado as much as possible, especially with those big mobs. So right now my mana is pretty efficient. You can see I can just cast, I can just hold down the Haunt button, and I'm not, you know, even kind of running out of mana. And with Piranado, I can't really spam that since it has the cooldown there, and unfortunately my cooldown reduction isn't quite where I want it to be. So I can cast Piranado as much as I would like. And obviously with Locust Swarm, with this Wormwood, that's what makes it so crazy good, is I don't have to worry about mana anymore. It's just automatically gonna cast on enemies, so I mean, that's awesome. So as you can see, I'm kind of not optimized with my gear. Again, Diablo 3, people who have played a while, or even people that are kind of new to it, it's all about, you know, gear. As far as, you know, Diablo 2 with your skill points and stat points, those were kind of done away with. Once you reach level 70, you get your Paragon points. Then you have, you know, some skill points, like you can put your Paragon points into different things, but it's not as crucial, and also you can reset them at any time, so that makes it a lot more kind of flexible there. But basically it's all about gear, using your gear to maximize your character. So depending on what your main stat is, like with the Witch Doctor, it's intelligence. I want gear that's going to boost it. And fortunately with Loot 2.0, you don't have to worry about finding useless gear that has a stat you don't want, which was the big problem, especially when Diablo 2 started out. So much, I mean, gear was just absolute trash, and you basically had to use the online marketplace to get the gear that was going to be suitable for your character. But with Root 2.0, you don't have to worry about that. Most of the gear they're going to pick up is going to be for your primary stat of your character. And the stuff that's not, you can just give it to your follower. So right now, doing the Nephalem kind of rifts. Like I mentioned, it's kind of like an arcade mode. You're just going through, killing characters. And again, here with speed, look at the speed pylon. All of a sudden, speed's maximized, and that's the big thing with Diablo 3. You want to be as fast as possible. Just run through, boom, 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 go in the room, kill stuff next. And that's key to being efficient, especially in these Nephalem rifts. It's all about this meter here. You just want to kill as many enemies as possible to have the boss show up. So I'm just going to keep running through here. And again, like I was saying, my build is not optimized. You see, it's kind of taken me a while, just on T1, to kind of kill these mobs here. So that's why I'm, you know, doing things like adventure mode or Nephalem Rift. Really doesn't make a big difference at this point. Just trying to find better gear and also upgrade those Paragon points to be as efficient and as speedy as possible. And looks like I've kind of backed myself in a corner here. That's another reason why you're going to want the increased movement speed. Is, you know, when you find yourself in an area with no enemies, especially in the Nephalem Rift, you want to get as quickly as possible to an area with a lot of enemies. Otherwise, you're just kind of wasting your time there. And again, when you're a slower character like the... Going the right way? Yeah. What the heck? Oh, here it is. Like the Witch Doctor, it makes a big difference. Something like 30% increased movement speed, but no enemies around, because you're going to go and try and find the enemies. So... And again, you saw where it said that skill's not ready. That's because I wanted to cast Tornado again, but couldn't, because right now the 16 seconds, even though I do have cooldown reduction, it's not quite where I'd like it yet, where I can just kind of keep casting it as much as I would like. So, and alright, an elite mob here. Whoops. Don't want to stand too close to those Moltens right there. So again, right now where I'm at with this build, just kind of spamming Haunt, even though enemies, you know, it says here, an enemy can be affected by one Haunt at a time. Don't really care, because, you know, I can just keep casting as much as I want. So just making sure everybody's affected by my Haunts. And then casting Tornado as soon as it's ready. But again, the Wormwood just makes it so much more efficient. I don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about cooldowns with Locust Swarm, but just automatically doing it. Don't have to worry about mana, running out of mana, because I mean that's just not a good thing. When you run across a mob and all of a sudden, uh-oh, can't cast my my spells because I'm out of mana. So I'll kind of try and show you something here. See if I can find some guys. Something interesting about this build is, whoops, you really don't even need to attack people. Just because with my followers and with the Locust Swarm, they're just going to die over time. So I can just kind of walk around, automatically cast Locust Swarm. See, I'm just going to stand still here, not even do anything. And you see between my zombie dogs, a Templar, and a Locust Swarm, I mean, they'll just die over time. I don't even need to do anything. But of course, that's why I want to cast Haunt and Tornado, get that damage amplification even more. And also, Tornado's nice, kind of suspends them in the air, prevents them from attacking. And the Haunt, I think it also slows them down. Not positive about that. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, it does give us slow as well. So again, pretty simple with the build. This is pretty fun. It's nice you don't really have to think too much about it, except, of course, obviously when you get to elite mobs, all kinds of... Oh, there's one here. Yeah, Molten's not too bad, but things like Arcane Enchanted, Orbiter, Frozen Pulse, things that it's going to do a lot of damage. You kind of have to worry about placement, but again, with the Witch Doctor, you can attack from a distance, so... Not too worried about it. So getting close to the Rift Guardian. Surprisingly, I'm still on the same level here. Normally these rifts I would have found the second part of it by now, but I don't know. I guess it's just a big level. But you see again, what makes this build so cool is just you're just constantly casting those DOTs and just damaging enemies all the time. And with the Wormwood, you don't even need to cast skills, and you're just going to be damaging it. Here's the end. Second stage. Damaging them over time. So things I hope to accomplish once I get more set items, also different gear, is just increase the speed there. Right now it's kind of taking me a while to kill these mobs. It's not hard, but they're just not dying quite as fast as I would like, especially the enemies with a lot of health, so I want to increase that so that way I can just be a lot more speedy and efficient with my runs here. Although as far as like legendary drops, it's pretty much random, so I was just playing adventure mode. That's how I got the Wormwood Staff. Just kicked over some debris, and lo and behold, Wormwood Staff and a plan for legendary wand, and that's one of the problems, at least the problem I have with the season mode, is at the end of the season, all of your, progress, your characters, your gear, your plans goes away. So while you can have multiple characters, oh boy, on season mode, it's just not that efficient, especially if you're trying to get to the high end level gear there. So when you get something that's not usable for your class, it's kind of a waste, but other than that, not a big deal. Getting a little laggy here for some reason. Alright, there it goes.
Not ready yet. My strike is true.
So getting close, 83%. So, I mean, you notice mana refills pretty quickly there. So even when I'm just constantly holding down this button and casting spells, it's never running out. You never want to run out of your skill. And right now, I'm doing pretty good with my mana. It's just a question of damage. Doing enough damage to the enemies. Well, that's a cool unearthly thing that should not be of deadly dolls. That's another thing. Take a second, just kind of check out my Necromancer. See, I got the green dye there. Again, just they did a great job, Blizzard, with kind of the aesthetics and the look of the Necromancer. Just very cool. While you still are a good guy, very dark look, very kind of sinister. And that's really cool looking Wormwood there with kind of the little locust swarm around there. So Necromancer is just a cool looking character, and also all his abilities just look really cool. So So I'm having a lot of fun playing the Necromancer. I remember when Diablo 3 first came out, Necromancer was probably one of the worst classes out there. So not a lot of fun to play, but they've done a good job reworking him to make him a lot of fun to play, and also, I think, pretty competitive. Oh god, Arcane Enchanted, again, another kind of hand frozen pulse, great. Okay, this is a bit annoying. Just backing up. Let's see, oh boy, I'm gonna have to pop a potion there. The Necromancer not very resilient when it comes to taking those high level elite mobs with especially Arcane Enchant, things that just do massive amounts of damage. So make sure you can run away, which you can easily do. You're pretty much a ranged character, so no reason to just stay in there and take it. Up to Paragon level 20. Alright, so pretty good. So again, going to resist all and resource cost reduction. Resist all is, you know, when you're playing on the Torment difficulties, you need to resist those different elemental attacks, and also resource cost reduction, again, just making yourself more efficient with your mana so you don't run out. Alright, almost have the Rift Guardian here. Almost. Really, 98%? So, let's kill a couple more mobs here, and hopefully he'll appear. Alright, so here comes the Rift Guardian, which is just, you know, a big, nasty boss. Sand Shaper, so Zoltan cool. All the Rift Guardians are is just regular bosses or mid-bosses from the games with different names, kind of some different abilities. So this is Zoltan cool from Act 2, one of the mid-bosses. And most aren't too difficult, especially on T1. Just trying to save my mana here, since I don't have too many enemies dying around me. I don't get the benefit from that Brave Injustice, where I'm refilling my mana and my life, so not quite spamming attacks as much. That's one of the problems I have with the Necromancer, I should mention, is with Haunt. One of the reasons I spam it so much is I have a hard time telling what enemies are actually affected by Haunt. You'll see that animation there, kind of like the little green energy swirling around him. That's how you tell an enemy's been haunted. A lot of times, though, especially when you have just a huge mob just attacking everybody, it's kind of difficult to tell. Just like, did I haunt him or not? So I just keep spamming it, even though, you know, it can only be haunted once. Don't really care, just keep spamming it. Better safe than sorry. So again, those Rift Guardian Sand Shapers, just Zoltan cool. One of the bosses from story mode. A little different with his attacks. Oops. Oh, that sucked. Be a little more careful there. Didn't realize how much damage those tornadoes were doing. Some of my zombie dogs. He's almost dead. Alright. So let's see. Keystone of Trials. Just pick up all this stuff.
I'm carrying too much.
Yeah, I'm carrying too much. Let me just go back to town real quick. Okay, enough of tornadoes. Thank you. Go back to town, see what I got here. Okay, so what that is a Greater Rift Stone, and those open Greater Rifts, which is kind of like a timed attack mode where you have to kill so many enemies, you know, go through different waves of enemies. So, and what's nice about that is you get kind of these legendary gems, which will actually level up and unlock different skills when you go through these greater rifts. So that's pretty cool. They got the Keystone of Trials. Start using that soon. I think I want to get some better gear first, more Paragon points. But let me go ahead and just stick that in my stash. Let me just go ahead and salvage some of this common stuff. Let me go back, just pick up those last couple things. Some arcane dust and okay.
I need to go back.
So obviously after you finish the Nephalem rift, you go back to town. And you talk to this guy here, says, "Good job!" And you get bonus XP and gold. Yay! The other thing you get is these blood shards. Blood shards are kind of like gambling, if you remember from Diablo 2. You select what kind of thing you want there, what kind of equipment you want, and then it could be a rare, it could be just uncommon, or it could be a set item. That's how I got these Jade Harbiters boots, which is really nice. Okay, so that's about it for right now. Pretty successful. Like I got that Greater Rift key, which is pretty nice. So I'll be running those pretty soon. So right now that's the end of this, and hope to if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again soon.